The people around you are mirrors, okay? They are reflecting back to you at all times who you are being. And if you don't see that, if you think that you don't like being around them because they're the problem or they have these issues or it's not you, they're the one who's mean, they're the one who's doing this to you. Like if you stay in that mentality, then you will never be able to crack the code in your relationships, and you will never be able to have the most harmonious relationships, whether it be platonic or romantic, that you can have if you are always the victim. Like if you're never the problem, there will always be a problem, okay? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Juditha, and on this channel, we talk about all things mindset. We talk about your goals, your dreams, your fears, all those things that go into creating your dream life, because I'm trying to do the same thing. So trust me when I say I get it. And if you can relate, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like this video and leave a comment. I would really, really appreciate that. Let's just get into today's topic. So a secret that no one really talks about is that when you want other people to change, don't try to change them. Like, you get to change yourself. And when you change, the people around you will change. It can either be that they change mentally or physically, like they literally just leave your life. Some way, somehow, they no longer are a part of the season that you are evolving into, and that happens. And the main thing that I have recognized in my friendships, in my relationship, is that the people around me, like, they are reflecting back to me who I'm being at all times. Like when it comes to my boyfriend, like there's little things that he does all the time that annoys me, and something that I realize is that he's just very goofy and playful, and I have these moments where I'm just like super serious, and I just don't want to play, and I take that to mean that it's his fault. Like when I get annoyed, it's his fault, it's him. He's the one doing the things that are annoying me. Like, I'm just trying to chill, right? But what I've learned is that I am choosing to be serious in the moments where he's choosing to play around, right? And I have a choice. I can allow his goofiness to annoy me, or I can just see it for what it is. Like, he's just being himself. And I don't have to choose to be annoyed. Like, my emotions are a choice. There's many other options I can take, many other routes I can take. I don't have to be annoyed. I can simply like just look within myself and see, like, why am I being like upset by this? Like, why is him telling this joke or doing this thing or trying to play with me? Like, why is that offending me so much? So I look at myself and I try to change that within myself. And when we have those moments where I feel like he's annoying me and I choose to react differently, like usually, some way, somehow, like he stops. Like I don't even have to say anything. Like he just stops. And I realize it's because I change. Like when I change the way I react, he changes. And it's probably not even a conscious thing that he's doing. Even though I am consciously changing my reaction, I don't think that he realizes that just by me changing, he's changing as well. And that's the secret. Like, even when it comes to your friendships, if you want your friends to change, you change. And those that are meant to evolve and change and grow with you, they will notice that you're changing and they will want to change too. They will be inspired by your change. They'll be motivated. Like, they'll see all the things that you're doing and how it's improving your life, and they'll pick up on that. Now, that's not everybody. You'll have some friends who just aren't meant to be in this next season with you. There will be people who you outgrow on your journey, and that's fine. Like, something that I've realized is those people that are meant to be in your life, like even if they go away for a season, they will come back. Like I have this really good friend. I knew her years ago when I was in college, and we became very, very good friends. She didn't go to my same college. She actually stayed in the city where I grew up in Tallahassee. That's where she lived, and I was living in Miami for college. But we became friends on Twitter, and then we just became really, really good friends from then on. Like, she came to visit me, and then after some time, we kind of grew apart. Like, she went through some things, I started going through some things. We just separated. Like, it took some time. We separated, and then years after that. I don't know exactly how many years after, but she had always wanted to move to Miami, and eventually she moved. And now she lives like 5 minutes from me. And I wouldn't have imagined that. I wouldn't have imagined that she would now be living right down the street from me. She comes over whenever we are barbecuing. She comes over when I have house parties. She comes over. Like, sometimes if we're just going out, she's one of my closest friends that I will invite now. But I just think it's funny that during that time in my life where me and her were friends, I couldn't imagine that she would move here and we would still be friends, because we literally stopped talking for years. Like, we literally had our moment, and then nothing for years, and then bam, she moves back and it's back like we never left. And that's why I believe strongly that the people that are meant to be in your life, no matter how many time goes by or how much time goes by, they will come back. And that actually reminds me, like, my best friend, who I've been my childhood best friend, pretty much, we've been best friends since 6th grade. So that's what, 11 or 12 years old, and we're 27 and 28 now. But there was a period of time, like after high school, I graduated and I moved away. I moved to Miami, and she stayed in Tallahassee, where we're from, and she stayed there for years. And me and her, we're the type of friends where we don't talk every day. Like, if we're not together, we're not going to talk every day. But whenever we do talk and we do catch up, it's like nothing has changed. And similarly to my first friend, like my best friend, she moved, in fact, she moved from Tallahassee and moved way up north to Minnesota. And during that time, like, the funny thing about us is that we would only call each other during like major life changes. So like, when before she moved, she called me, she's like, "Oh, I'm moving to Minnesota." And I'm like, okay, okay, cool. Like, we kept each other updated on the big things, but on the like monotony day-to-day things, like, not really. But anyway, so she moved to Minnesota, stayed there for a while, and realized soon that, she didn't love being there. It wasn't working out the way she wanted to. And she didn't want to go back to our hometown, to Tallahassee, because y'all know how it is. Once you graduate, you get sick and tired of like being in the place that you grew up around the same people. And she was feeling that, like, she didn't want to go back there. So I told her, I'm like, "Girl, come live with me. Like, come on down. I'm in college. I'm living my best life, doing whatever the hell I want, really becoming an adult and learning what it means to be an adult." And I was like, why wouldn't it be fun if my best friend came to live with me? So she came down and she lived with me. And before she moved, I was like so nervous because I just was not sure. Like, I wasn't sure who she was anymore. And because I knew I was changing, like during this time, I was already becoming aware. So I was changing, and I just knew that from past visits, when she would visit me early on in college, before she actually moved, like, I would just notice that there were things that were different about her, which is fine because there were things that were different about me, but I just wasn't sure how we were gonna click. And I remember just feeling nervous, like, oh my god, like, I agreed to have somebody come live with me, and even though that's my best friend for years, we haven't really gotten to know who we are now. And looking back now, I can say, like, I'm so happy she came, and I still live with her till this day. Like, me and her, we still live together. But what I realized, when she did move back in with me during college, we literally just had to relearn each other. And what we noticed is that the time that she took away from me and the time that I had away from her, like, it grew us into two people who could understand each other better. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but we just needed that time. Like, everything that she went through, the people, the places, the experiences, the circumstances, and vice versa for me, like, it grew us in a way that we needed to grow to come back to be, like, now the best of friends. Like, to be honest, I just can't imagine a day without this girl. Like, love her to death. Like, I consider her to be one of my soulmates in this lifetime, because I believe that soulmates aren't just like lovers, they're also friends. The point is, she was meant to be in my life. I met her in 6th grade, and from 6th grade all the way to high school, we were the best of friends. And even during that time, we had other friends. Like, I had other best friends, and so did she. But there was just something about our souls, our connection. I don't know what it is. Just a divine union. I don't know. But we were just always, I feel like, meant to be in each other's lives. And I hope that never changes. But that just goes to show you that the people that are meant for you will be for you. It doesn't matter how many years you spend apart. Continue to grow. Your job is just to grow, is to evolve, is to become the best version of you. Because when you become the best version of you, everyone benefits from that. Like, everyone will. And those that are meant to grow with you, they will. And those that are meant to fall away, they will. And you just have to let them. But when it comes to the relationships that you have with people, something that I want you to pay attention to is anyone who triggers something within you, anyone who you feel annoyed by, anyone who is in like your proximity that you don't like or you don't really love to be around. I want you to ask yourself, like, if this person is always around me some way, somehow, what could they be teaching me? Like, what in them is mirroring something back to me? And then what can I change about myself to be able to change this relationship, or to be able to see how, by me changing, how they will change too, or how our relationship might change. Like, you have to look within yourself, because 9 times out of 10, like, those people, they aren't there to punish you. Like, if you are with someone in a relationship with someone who isn't treating you right, like, that is a reflection of you. You might think, I'm the victim. I'm the one that's being treated wrong. I'm the one that's being hurt. I'm the one that feels like I'm not being listened to or heard. And my thing is, you need to look within yourself to see, if you feel like you are not being treated right by this person, what is within you that makes you stay? What makes you feel like that is what you are worthy of? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to you. If you are choosing to let someone treat you a certain way, then on some level, even if it is subconscious, you believe that you deserve that. So that is what that relationship could be mirroring back to you. If you have a relationship where someone makes you feel inspired, they make you feel motivated, they make you feel like, damn, I can do anything that I want to do, whether it be a friend, family member, whatever it is, that relationship could be mirroring back to you that there are things out there, like your dreams, your goals are meant for you to pursue. Like there are things out there that you can do to create the life that you want. Anything that you feel or that you see in another person, try to find how that thing could be teaching you something about yourself. And that is a secret to changing like all of your relationships. And I talk about this all the time, but when I was back in college, y'all, I know a lot of the time, a lot of my stories come from college. That is just when I did the most growing, so bear with me. But back in college, when I was losing all those friends, when I would argue with them and I couldn't understand like what their issue was, when I finally became a little bit more self-aware, I was just like, damn, maybe it's me. And what I realized is all those relationships that didn't work out for me, those friendships that didn't work out, it was just reflecting back to me how I was being, the type of person I was being. And then I got to choose, like, damn, do I want to continue to be this person or do I want to change? Like, you always have that option. You can change at any time, at any point. If who you are being is not working for you, if it's not furthering you in life, then you get to change. And that's simply what I do, and that's simply what I've been doing. And I do want to note that I'm not perfect at this, okay? I'm not perfect at all, because there's still times where I feel like I get upset or annoyed and I will blame somebody outside myself. Like I will say, but you are contributing to the why I feel this way. And that isn't completely false. However, I like to be in control of my emotions. I like to be in control of how I feel because I have that right. So anytime I am giving that power to something outside of myself, I am releasing that control, and I don't like that. That's just not how I choose to live most of the time. So I always try to reel myself back in and think about, damn, like what is this showing me? Or why am I really getting annoyed? Am I even right to be annoyed right now? Like, is there another way that I could have handled this situation? And another cheat code, right, to life is, you'll know if you're in the wrong. Like, let's say you speak with somebody, you get into an argument with somebody, you disagree with somebody. You will know that you are in the wrong if the argument keeps replaying in your head. And not only is it replaying in your head, but you're also finding ways to justify your own actions. Like, oh, they did that, so of course I got angry. And then you just keep thinking about it like, no, I was right. I was right. I was right to get angry. Like, they said that. They did that. And if you keep doing that, some way, somehow, on some level, like you are wrong. Or there's something that you probably could have done different. So trust me when I say it doesn't serve you to always be the victim in your relationships, romantic or otherwise, or even with your family members. I know this can be a big thing. And something that I heard a while ago was that the reason why your family can trigger you is because they created the triggers. Like, you grew up with them. The things that you feel on a subconscious level or believe on a subconscious level, it came from them. It came from being around your family. So of course they're going to be able to trigger you. And I think that's why going away to college was one of the best decisions for me, is because it allowed me to grow. It allowed me to be in another environment around people that were different and people that didn't know me for who I've always been. Because when you are around people who don't expect you to be a certain way, it's easier to grow. It's easier to choose a different identity and grow into it. So that's something that I also recommend. If you feel like you get triggered a lot by the people that you're always around, or if it's your family, then you need to distance yourself. Give yourself some time. Like, just give yourself a head start to start evolving, to grow, to start to work on the identity that you actually want to embody. But you can't avoid them forever, because the point is not to run away from triggers. The point is to be in any situation and just be so like level-headed and so in the know of who you really are that it doesn't bother you. Like, that is my goal. My goal is to be put in any situation and still be able to maintain whatever emotion I want to maintain. And that's the same thing that you should be trying to do. Don't try to run every time you're triggered. But if you need some space to grow a little bit, then take that space. That is okay too. So again, when you want people to change yourself. I promise you, if you change yourself, the other person will change. They'll either change in a way that benefits you, or they'll just be removed from your life. Either way, everything is always working for you in your highest good. So trust and believe that your only job is to evolve, okay? Evolve and let the people come that are meant to come, and let the ones fall away that are meant to fall away, okay? That is it for today's video. I hope it was helpful. I hope you bloomed today. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment, all the things, and I will see you on the next one.